We're here today to talk about your growing business. So I would like to ask you some questions. How do you feel about that today?
I would love that, Emma.
So I'm gonna deep dive. I'm gonna go straight in, and
Yes,
I'm
let's
gonna
do it.
ask you really quickly just to share with the audience now a little like top line. What is your business and your mission? And then we'll dig in about your inspirations and everything. So yeah, if you want to introduce your business to us, that'd be amazing.
Thank you, Emma, for giving me this space to talk about my big passion and that I really truly believe in. So the mission or the message I really have to share, the core itself, is that the body heals itself. And
Mm.
that we have everything, like the body stores everything. It's like the vessel, the container, and it starts storing it even before birth. Like
Mm.
when we are in the womb, but it can also be generational, that it gets passed on. So like it's in our bones, it's in our DNA. So our body is constantly communicating with ourselves. But from my experience or the people I work with, it's usually like we are very shut off from it's not only our body, but like our feelings in general. So we're all very smart people and we know a lot in our head, like we're knowing, analyzing, strategizing, we know the story. But have you ever like truly felt it? And feeling is through the body. And it's usually that we are afraid of feeling and that we have never learned to feel. So the modality I'm working with is somatic inquiry. So for the session, it's really setting an intention, like it can be whatever, it can be a wish, it can be something you want to explore more. Maybe you sense that there's something off, maybe you have the same pattern you're repeating, can be anything. And it always like it's interesting when we talk about it before and then we invite the intention that it's sometimes slightly different, but it always ties in with what we have talked about. And I just love that. And then it's usually really like, where do you feel it? And for me, the mind, the body, the spirit, the soul is all part of our being. So yes, it's in crying through the somatic, like what we're sensing in our body, but like everything feeds into it. And then it's really unraveling what we have been conditioned or learned to, maybe also from the knowledge we acquired ourselves as we tried to fix a problem, like wanting the solution. So we're keeping this story in our head, but like what is underneath there, like layer by layer. And I always use this word onion, like it's really like an onion, like layer by layer, you're unraveling, you unbecome in order to become, like that you really find your true essence. And that's like the missing key, like you just then feel it in your body immediately in the session, and you know it's within yourself, so it doesn't go away as something you would train yourself constantly with your mind. You feel it in the experience, which creates for me like a rapid shift as I sense it in others, but also for me when I do this work.
So beautiful. I can feel the power and the passion in your articulation of that. So let's go back. I know every business, heart-led, conscious business, it has a story behind it. So can you share with us, Jess, the story behind building this business?
Yes, absolutely.
And we
Seeing
can
me
deep as you like with this one.
deep as you like. Oh, that's like my whole work as well, like going deep, but like layer by layer, only like how ready you are to meet yourself. But
Mm,
yeah, my business,
yes.
um, yeah, my business for me, I really, as far as I can remember, I always had this calling to help people.
Mm,
And I grew up in like a household with entrepreneurship, but also like a lot of spirituality. But I kind of like was like, oh, I don't want the spiritual part in my life. And
mm,
so I kind of like pushed it out and went really deep into like this business world because I just love like entrepreneurship, innovation, and build a whole successful career around this. But I still always had this nudge to do something more, like to really help people. And that's why like I continuously continue to work on myself, but also studied around these topics because it was just my passion. And so this really deep inner like calling led me to all of this. But I think it was then really like this still being stuck in the head the whole time. And then like finding and discovering, exploring new modalities, like what is like there's something missing, like I'm still not meeting myself, I'm still not feeling, I'm still feeling like kind of baseline like this, so a little depressed. And I don't feel like I want to feel joy. I want to explore how good life can be. And for this, I then really found maybe first breath work was like my entry point more into somatic, but also there it was just an experience. It wasn't like then fully in my body. And then also like shaking, tantra, which was nice, like to start using your body differently than just meditation, yoga, the stillness. And so my work is really then about combining these both worlds, like we go within in the stillness, but then we also allow ourselves to move how it needs to move and express ourselves freely. Because even though I knew I had to like, I was still stuck in my head, like finding the solution, and by just dropping in more with my body, and it's so uncomfortable. This is how it then came about. And like building my own business has taught me so much more about myself as well. Like still these uncomfortable fears that come up with it, but yeah, like the core is really like always had this deep calling to help people, and just tried to follow that after I burned out with my other jobs. It was just like, this is not what I'm meant to do. So I felt like I was nudged more and more into this direction. But it wasn't like when I started doing it, I didn't have the confidence to say, this is what I'm doing now. Like I had to grow into that person. And it's also through the work I'm doing that I've done that, like feeling the fears and what's underneath it, like what is actually like underneath all of this, like not feeling worth enough.
So, do you remember the day you were first introduced to somatic inquiry? And can you explain a little bit more about how these tools have helped you more?
Yes. I do, like I can't remember the exact day, but I remember it was just like, yeah, with breath work, I started to connect more to my body. And like these memories came up that I nearly drowned as a child, and I feel like it helped me to breathe more deeply in my body. Before I always felt like I was breathing like here, like kind of like I wasn't fully dropping in my body. I was like somewhere here. And so it's like I liked breath work, but it was just like, it's not like doing like what I wanted to do. So it was really my curiosity to find out what is keeping me stuck and disconnected. Like I want to feel my body and myself. Like I think there must be something else. And so I always had this pain in my shoulder. Not always, it's always like I broke my arm as a child twice. And so I went to physio and everything, but it always came back like it's like different kind of points. And so this is how I came to somatic inquiry. It was like, I think this pain, there must be more underneath it. Like there must be things stuck in it, and I just want to explore it. And so my friend told me about my wonderful guide. And so I booked my first 3-month container with her. And like the first session just blew me away. Like it was really the intention about the pain in my shoulder. And we went in there, and like all these images came up that were just stored in there. But I really realized then it was only the beginning. Like I just started to feel then a little bit. And so within this 3-month container, I built more trust with her, but also with myself and my body. And by doing this, it really allowed me to go deeper, because I felt it always a little bit more of the uncomfortable, and a little bit more I felt of the uncomfortable, a little bit more joy and love came out. Like it goes hand in hand. And so I extended the container like continually as I realized it needs a longer time also to integrate. and
Mm,
just really sitting with it instead of like fighting it in my head, and
mm,
realizing as a very sensitive person, an empath, that everything I sense from someone, it's not their fault, but
mm,
it's like within me that attracts it, and like sitting with that and not feeling like the victim. So like the whole work is really becoming into your own sovereignty, and like really feeling then empowered by, oh my gosh, you feel so empowered when you do it, because you feel everything and it just brings you back your power. That's really
mm.
incredible. Yeah.
I love that.
And I
I'm
think
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, a key thing for me was then during this time, I started already to be self-employed, but it was like, oh, I want like a part-time job. And then this part-time job, like a biggest pattern for me resurfaced, like so uncomfortable. But I just felt like I need to stay in this discomfort. And with somatic inquiry, this situation changed so quickly,
Mm,
which is incredible. And I felt, yeah, like so within myself. And I could like, yeah, like really this sovereignty piece, like this strong center, but still being soft. And
So,
this, yeah,
so you can see the evolution of your journey using it.
yeah.
Love that. Love that. So, the business, it started as a little seed. How has it evolved? Did you have an initial vision for the business and now that's grown and changed over time? How has that journey been like for you?
Yeah, I can really see the deeper I meet myself through
Mm,
somatic inquiry,
mm,
the deeper I can meet my clients. Like it's really like when I work on myself, it creates a ripple effect. It affects everyone around me, and especially the people in my container. Like we are all connected.
mm,
And so for this, I just realized to building like longer containers so we can really create deeper transformation.
mm,
Like even one session can be so profound, but I really believe also for my work that it just needs a little bit more time to settle. But this has been an evolution because I quit my job to become employed to be a coach and breathwork guide. And I was like, this doesn't feel right. I never liked to call myself a coach. Like it always reminds me of like a soccer coach. And I don't have like, I'm a cheerleader. I'm a guide. But I don't
yeah,
think like, I don't know, this word coach just doesn't align. So this was a whole journey in itself to find like the right word, guide, mentor, facilitator, and
yeah.
like the modalities to work with. So even though it's in the session, I also then support throughout the session with some different like practices, like very individualized work, because I don't believe that there is a solution that fits for everyone, but
Mm,
it's really individualized. Yeah. So it's
mm,
really going and feeling through the fear, and it can go then so quickly.
mm, mm-hmm.
I feel
And
like
I
it
guess,
just takes so much energy when you're always in the head thinking about
yeah.
what you're feeling. Like, you know, like there's this fear and you're aware of the pattern, but when you don't feel it, you're not alchemizing it.
Mm, mm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess with that longer container, you can really hold that space and evolve and unwrap all them layers. We know if we've been in the healing journey for a while, we know that after one layer, there's always going to be another layer
Yeah.
and another layer, and you can really watch them clients evolve and transform in front of your eyes over that time.
Yeah, that's like so beautiful and also so humble to
Mm,
witness. That's
mm,
like a true gift. And yeah, there's just infinite layers
mm-hmm,
from the
mm-hmm,
body, from the heart, from everything, from our soul. And it's
mm,
beautiful to unravel more of that, to really then feel your true essence. But
mm,
I don't believe it's not about healing more and more. Like really, at one point, it's just like, wow, I just feel so good with myself, and I can go and just living life. I know there will always be more stuff, but I know I have the power and the wisdom to alchemize it. So like, I don't believe that they need to continue the journey, but it's really when you feel this strong sovereignty, like this groundedness,
mm,
this strong center within you, then life will always have its challenges, and with this you can meet it over and over again because you know your true essence, you know and feel your center. And even though will be death, there will be losses in life, which will be heartbreaking, this center will hold you through that, and it helps you then even more to open up. Sorry, instead of that, it would like crumble you down and make you feel, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And how long have you been in business and being a new business owner? What have been your biggest challenges that you've managed to overcome, or biggest lessons that you want to share, or you think would be helpful to share for others thinking about getting into the healing world, healing business?
I think it's really connecting so strongly with your inner knowing, intuition, and following it as well. Even though it doesn't make sense, like follow the intuition and ask then for guidance. And but I also think, yeah, like build this sovereignty, this strong center that holds you. And so like, because building a business, it takes a lot of energy. And when you have this strong sovereignty in center, you can hold yourself, like you can just lay a little back and you know it's an extension of you, like everything you do. And so you can always come back within yourself and create from there. And I think this has been very key, especially when I think back for 1 year time. I went to this conference a year ago, and it was just so much, like 2 days, 2 half days. And I needed like 3-4 days of rest afterwards. Like it was a startup event. And this was always the case. I couldn't schedule like many things. And I was like, oh, I'm sensitive. I need much time for myself. And now, like over the last 2 or 3 months, I went to a conference nearly every week. And it felt right to me to do it. And it was also like, wow, it even gives me energy. I'm not draining. I'm not like falling into something. And this is just really incredible to see, as I have like this sovereignty is coming more up and this strong center to hold me through all of that, and like this integrity, but also this deep inner trust.
So beautiful. Love this. So how would you say, if somebody's kind of on the fence about somatic inquiry and working with you, what would you say to those people?
Like for me, it was really the missing key for different things. Like really, like if you have done talk therapy, if you have done Reiki, breath work, whatever, and you just keep repeating the same patterns, and you feel like, oh, you want to feel like at home within yourself, like you want to feel good, you want to feel more joy, pleasure, love, you want to know, really feel how good life can be, because at the moment you might not experiencing that, and you think you have to do it all alone. And this is uncomfortable, so I invite you to sit with all of that and really feel into like, what is it that you need now? Like, can you feel your intuition? Where does it guide it to? And just really invite you to book an exploration call so we can have a talk. And it's not when you then say no, there is no heartbreak. Like, I'm happy to guide you like to different things that might support you now better. But yeah, just really invite you to explore it for yourself, because I know and I see it with my clients how also fast things can really deeply change. And I just really think, as I said before, it's like a ripple effect. So if you do the work, you're not doing it only for yourself, but for all the people around you. I think especially if you have difficult family situation, it's also a very beautiful work. Like I've seen my grandma transform, incredible, like sharing more, feeling more, which is never done before. Only, I really believe, only because I've done the work with myself. So it impacts everyone around you. And I think this is something to be considered as well. Also, if you have children, to think about that. And so you're not feeling stuck in the hand and thinking, oh, what is the right thing? Which word should I use with my child? But then you're doing it from a place from within. And also compassion. Like compassion is a big piece of my work. Like every part we meet in ourselves, like basically somatic inquiry is bringing different parts of you out, like younger parts, and really meeting them with compassion. We're not rushing them, we're meeting them. And also these protection parts, like these parts which you might find like, no, we go away now. We meet them with compassion. And as we meet ourselves, our parts, with more compassion, we meet everyone on the outside with more compassion. I think this is what the world really needs now. Also, if you're into feminine work, this is key to be a feminine being, like this compassion. With this compassion, we soften, but you also still feel your strong center within. And I think this is something, if you want to go deeper with this as well, it's worth to explore it. But yeah, I really recommend you to book a call and connect and see if this might be a fit for you. And we can really see like what is your concern or your desire at the moment, like, and really see how this could look like to work together. Because I believe in longer containers, but for some, maybe it's only a month, for us it's 2 months. I really believe in this individualized support and meeting the people there where they're at, because it's my big, deep desire to share this work with people as I know how it can support them, as I see it within myself, like just feeling this joy, love, and also pleasure, which I've never felt before. And I really think this is what we need for the future, for all the other generations, for the earth, to have a greater impact in whatever then you do. Like if you're working in a company, if you're working for someone, if you're self-employed, it's needed everywhere. And also like for me with somatic inquiry connected so much deeper with my gift and my purpose. Also, if this is something you're like, don't know what to do with my life, I feel like I'm changing jobs over and over again, like this is really something that can help you to connect deeply with yourself and your purpose, your mission, and your gifts. Your magic.
So how do people book a call and go deeper with you?
On my website, there is a link to a Calendly page. I invite everyone, if this resonates somehow with you, to reach out and just like, let's connect and talk about it. Also, if you want to know more, like, I think this is really important for me to talk with people, obviously, first, before we do this work. And I think what I also really like about it, that it seems so, like it is so gentle, but it's so deep. And like also like then, like there's no quick fix, but because it's so gentle, it's always in your time, what your body, your subconscious, your consciousness is ready to feel and face. So it's not something I give you like a pill or so, and like everything just comes up, because this could traumatize you even more. Like I also work with people who had this kind of experience, that they were in a space where they were like, oh, I want to like heal more, but they actually got traumatized more. And so it's like so gentle and subtle, but also like just had a session last week, which then I got this feedback, like I just feel myself so much more, was able to hold myself more within like a very difficult situation that came then up 2 days after the session. And this was just beautiful to hear, as sometimes that even I know it for myself, it's just to see this resonance.
Yeah, I can just feel your energy and your power and your glow, and just, I can really feel that you're on your soul's purpose and mission. And I just think it's just so beautiful to witness. So thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything
Thank
else
you.
you want to add?
Maybe if you feel like, because you have done a session or two with me, if you feel like sharing a bit of your experience, how you felt, or
Yeah.
maybe this would be helpful for some people.
Yeah, this came to my mind. So I've had 2 sessions with Jess now. Whew, and I just want to credit her on her ability to hold safe space. I have been on a conscious healing journey for 6 years now, and yeah, Jess touched on instances that can happen when you have the intention to go into healing spaces, but you actually end up getting more re-traumatized because maybe the person you're working with isn't holding the space well enough, or it's just maybe you go in a bit too hard, and that, and I just really admired Jess's ability to set the scene, hold the space, but really make it about me. And that is really her like core, and her stability is very, very, you can really feel that in her, and that reflects back to you. So she gives you your power back. And yeah, both sessions are incredibly transformative. We went to parts that I actually didn't know existed, but she guides in such a paced way. She matches, it's like she can almost read your energy in your mind in terms of where you want to, how far you want to go, and and then she can bring it back if it feels a bit too much. But yeah, incredibly powerful sessions. I won't go into details. But also the integration part, I think, was really admirable in terms of, yeah, we brought up some heavy stuff, some deep wounds, and gave them light, shone light on those. And then I really learned how to hold them afterwards and give them compassion. And that was with Jess's ongoing support after the sessions. So she really does give her heart and soul into these sessions. And you just really feel the supportiveness and the alignment in her is just, yeah, yeah. Um, I don't want to go into too much detail about exactly what came up because but it's like, even the fact that I can come on this camera and talk about like the sessions is credit to Jess and Jess's ability to hold in space. So yeah, I'm incredibly grateful for you, Jess, and you sharing your gifts with the world is just so beautiful to witness. And yeah, it's helped me tenfold since I've met you and had those sessions. So yeah, beautiful work. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you and this connection we
Yeah.
have formed, which we know had for a long time, but now again in this lifetime. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
Oh, so blessed. So blessed.
Blessed with Jess.
Blessed with Jess. That's actually a saying I came up with after I
Yeah,
had sessions with Jess. So if you want to get blessed with Jess, then
got my
put
magic
it
wand
forward
here.
there now.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think thank you so much for your words. And I think something I want to add here, it's just also the ability, yes, I can hold the space, but it's always like your ability to be brave and curious to go into the discomfort. And I
Mm,
just want to credit that for you and every client I had so far and I will have, because it takes bravery to go that deep, because we can always decide to stay on the service level. But I really think it's time to go deeper in a gentle way, like not being the surface level server, but like really becoming the
peel those
diver.
onion layers off.
Yeah. And it's really, oh my gosh, it's so accurate, like the onion layers, and it makes you cry, like you feel, but you can also
Yeah.
feel like it's not only like that you feel bad stuff, like the more you continue doing that, so much love comes up, the compassion, the
Yeah.
light, or like the feminine power. Yeah, and yeah, it's really, really incredible. And it looks different for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. My ability to hold compassion and safe space for myself now is just, I really noticed that within myself. And yeah, that's since your sessions. So thank you.
Yeah,
I
thank
guess
you.
we'll wrap this little inquiry up.
Yeah, about myself.
But yeah, if anybody's got more questions or they're curious, or and they want to understand more, then I guess head to Jess's website and inquire. and book that call. Yeah, follow your heart, follow your intuition, and let's all grow and heal together.
Thank you so much.
Thank
See
you.
you
Let's
soon.
grow.